is going on, comic book fans? It's another Friday. Today is Friday, August. Just let that sink in. August 2nd of 2024. We're getting that much closer to the end of the year. Summer is sadly already approaching the end. We got one more month of summer and then the kids are back to school, which I'm actually really excited about because I'll have more time for everything else because my life has just been completely taken over by my children, which is obviously, I'm a dad, that's what happens. But that means less time for making videos about comic books, which, you know, is sad for me and sad for you. But we're back today. Today's Friday, and we're making my final order cutoff speculation and recommendations video. Guys, I've gone over every single book that's on this weekend's final order cutoff and tried to figure out if there's any books truly worthy of us speculating on, so that way you and me, we can try to make this hobby fund itself. Now, I don't have a lot of time to make today's video, so today I'm going to try to make it quick and easy, fast and painless for everyone. So I'm going to do my best not to waste any time today. So let's go ahead and cover my 3 weekly speculation reminders. If you guys are seasoned speculators or you guys have seen this video series before, feel free to look down in the description below. There are timestamps and you guys can skip right ahead to final order cutoff cover lever picks. But if you guys are new to this video series or new to speculation in general, I would definitely hear out these 3 weekly speculation reminders because they're very important. And the first one up will always be, you guys have to do your own research. I'm going to present some information to you guys today, but what I need you to do is to go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself, because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. It's not my money, it's your money. Now the second reminder for you guys is that there are delays with comic books, so sometimes the book will show up multiple times on final order cutoff, and that is because its release date got moved for one reason or another. Now the third and final reminder for you guys is that I actually record this video before DC, Marvel, and all the independent publishers lock in their final order cutoff books, because they have until 5 p.m. today to do that. But guys, I cannot record this video over the weekend. I spend that time with my family, so I record this video early. So to make sure you guys have the most up-to-date information before you put in your final order cutoff orders, I would suggest you check these 2 places before you do. The first place up is the Comic Book Frontier. It is a great Facebook group run by my good friend Al, and he will update his final order cutoff findings all the way up into the order deadline dates, which we'll cover in just a second. Now the other place is coverprice.com. They are a fantastic website with so much secondary market information, and they also put out a final order cutoff list every single Sunday, so make sure you guys are checking those 2 places before you finalize your orders. Alright guys, those are my 3 weekly speculation reminders. Let's go ahead and cover this weekend's final order cutoff order deadline date. Alright guys and girls, if you are interested in picking up any of the books that I'm going to talk about on today's video, you guys have until Monday, August 5th to get your pre-orders in. Now the reason you want to do this is because you will save up to 20% off the cover price of these books, and I have linked some awesome websites that you can do that down in the description below. And if you're truly going to speculate on a book and you're going to buy that book in bulk, why not save that 20% off the cover price so that way you can make that 20% additional profit when you sell those books. Alright guys, that is this weekend's final order cutoff order deadline date. It's time to jump into the fun stuff, which is this weekend's final order cutoff cover lever picks. Alright guys, I found some really cool covers on this weekend's final order cutoff that I think could sell well on the secondary market either right out of the gate or in the future, so let's go ahead and cover these covers. And first up is Detective Comics issue number 1088. This is the cover E. It's a 1:25 ratio variant done by Sebastian Fumera, and it features Mr. Freeze, and this is a gorgeous, badass cover. And yeah, it is just so great. There's nothing in the guts of this book, but this cover is epic in my opinion. Now guys, next up is Gotham City Sirens issue number 4 with the 1:25 ratio variant done by Tirso Cons. I love this cover. I put it down in the Discord and asked the group. Some people liked it, some people didn't, but overall I think this is a fantastic cover, and it's different. It's not like a sexy girl cover. It's them as kids and that's why I think this cover could do well in the future, because it's different. Alright guys, next up is Gotham City Sirens, issue number 4 with the cover C variant done by Ji-Hung Lee. This is the final issue of the series, and it's the final cover done by Ji-Hung Lee featuring Punchline, and it is gorgeous. Getting this full 4 cover set done by Ji-Hung Lee is going to be epic, and I can see people wanting these in the future. Alright guys, next up is Daredevil issue number 13 with the variant cover done by Gabriel Del Otto. It's a little bit of a negative space variant, and it is gorgeous. So good. I completely missed this on previews because they didn't have this image out when I was ordering this book, and it's so sad because I definitely would have ordered multiple copies on previews, but I'm going to have to pull the trigger on final order cutoff because I want to make sure I get at least a couple copies of this book. Alright guys, next up is Dazzler issue number 1 with the 1 in 100 virgin ratio variant done by Derek Chu. Now I personally don't love this cover, but it is a 1 in 100 virgin, which a lot of people do like these high ratio virgin covers, and it does feature a very popular character in Dazzler, so I don't know. You guys check other places. You guys let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. Now, if I was going to pick up one of the Dazzler covers, this would be the one I want. This is Dazzler issue number 1, the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Yasmin Putri. This is the one. This is the one in my opinion. I think this is such a gorgeous cover. It's a little sexy, but it's not over the top, and it's just, I don't know. It's a great looking cover in my opinion. Alright guys, next up is The Immortal Thor issue number 15 with the 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Pablos Villalobos. It's really cool, and it's a high ratio virgin, and I think people are going to want this. Lobos is such a popular artist right now, and this cover is, like I said, it's just really cool. The next up is a freaking awesome cover. This is Marvel and Disney, What If Donald Duck Became Thor, the variant cover done by Scotty Young. This is so good. It's so good. I love this cover. I definitely got to double check my previous order to make sure I did order this, because if I didn't, I'm a dummy, and I need to, because this is so good. Now guys, next up is The Ultimates issue number 4 with the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Francisco Mobili. Now there is something maybe in the guts of this book. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but this cover is gorgeous. Francisco Mobili is freaking awesome, and there's a lot of buzz around Doom right now, so guys, keep an eye on this one, especially this cover. Alright guys, next up is Venom War issue number 2 with the variant cover done by Scotty Young. Freaking awesome. Again, there's nothing in the guts of this book, but this is a great cover. Now the final book is Grommets issue number 4 with the cover B, which is the 1 in 10 ratio variant done by Chuck Beebe. That's a pretty cool last name, Beebe. But guys, these 1 in 10s for grommets have been selling well on the secondary market. For issue number 3 that came out this week, my comic shop, which normally has ratios for a really good price, was selling very fine books for $20. 20, double ratio, and they were only very fine. So definitely keep an eye on all these 1 in 10s. Talk to your local comic book shop. Maybe you can secure yourself a copy ahead of time. Alright guys, those are all the cover lover picks that I found on this weekend's final order cutoff. Let me know your favorite down in the comments below, but let's keep this video moving. Let's go ahead and cover the second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and kick it off with the facsimiles, and first up is all new collector's edition, issue number 56 with the facsimile foil, and the facsimile blank. Now this is a great cover featuring Muhammad Ali fighting Superman in the ring. Such a cool cover. I don't know how Muhammad Ali stands up against Superman, but either way, that is such a cool cover. Now guys, next up is the Uncanny X-Men issue number 274, the facsimile edition. This is such a fantastic cover. Early Jim Lee, you got Rogue, she's in like the jungle outfit, you got Tarzan, whatever his name is, and like Nick Fury and Magneto. It is a great cover. But I double checked to make sure there was nothing in the guts, and I didn't find anything, but I'm not a huge Marvel historian. Maybe I'm missing something other than this just being a fantastic cover. Alright guys, next up we have Veronica issue number 28, the facsimile edition. Now, this cover is awesome. Look at Archie and the other guy in the background drooling over Veronica jumping into the pool. Great cover. Great freaking cover. Now the final facsimile is Transformers, the 40th anniversary edition, issue number 1. Now they did this for the 25th anniversary, and now they're doing it again for the 40th. I guess they'll maybe do it for the 50th. I don't know. They'll probably keep reprinting these as long as people are picking them up, but it's a great Bill Sienkiewicz cover. It is so cool. Alright guys, let's move on to the second prints. Next up is NYX issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Sarah Pacelli. it's an okay cover. But the next cover is fantastic. It's NYX issue number 1, the second print variant, which is a 1:25 virgin ratio variant done by Artgerm. They kind of switched up the covers from the original printing, and it's really nice. Really nice. And it's a virgin. All right, guys, next up is Greaser Gemini Blues, issue number 1, the second print variant done by Stephen Jones. A cool little independent with probably a very small second print. All right, next up is House of Slaughter, issue number 25, the second print variant done by Antonio Fuso. And after that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Darkest Hour, issue number 1 with the second print design variant. And then next up is Hello Darkness, issue number 1 with the third print done by a name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, but that is a creepy cover. And the last one is Hello Darkness, issue number 1 with the third print blank variant. All right, guys, those are all the second prints, facsimiles, and beyond. Let's go ahead and cover the few books that I did find that had a little something in the guts. All right, guys, first up is Absolute Power Origins issue number 2 with the origin of Task Force X, which is pretty cool. And this cover A is actually really nice, especially if you focus on each character. They're done really well, especially Harley Quinn up in the upper left. Such a cool rendition of her. All right, guys, next up is Zatanna Bring Down the House issue number 3. Now, when I read the synopsis of this, there could possibly be a new character in here, but if they're going to mean anything in the long run or big scheme of things, especially since this is a Black Label book, most likely not, but there is the possible first appearance of the Destroyer of Souls in this issue. All right, guys, next up is Daredevil issue number 13. Now, the solicitation here says, a dangerous and lethal new enemy wearing a familiar face has made itself a known and violent force in the lives of the Daredevils. Are we getting a new villain in this? It does kind of sound like that, and we do have that awesome Gabriel Dell'Otto variant. Now, guys, next up is the Spectacular Spider-Men issue number 7 with the first appearance of Knave, described as a truly terrifying new addition to the Spiders Rogues Gallery, and supposedly it's like an AI bot that is like taking over this thing, and it's gonna be a new villain. Pretty cool. Now, next up is Spider-Boy issue number 11. The solicitation here mentions a new arc begins here with new cast members and an all-new supervillain. So we're getting a new supervillain. He said multiple new supervillains in this series so far, so that's pretty cool. But do supervillains do well in the secondary market? Normally, not so well. All right, guys. Next up is Star Wars: The Acolyte. I can't pronounce that. It's up on screen. You guys read it. But this does have the first comic appearance of that character, because this character has already shown up in the TV show, so this is their first comic appearance. All right, guys, the final book is The Ultimates issue number 4. Now, the writer of this series, Dennis Camp, is quoted as saying, if you want to understand Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, you must read Ultimates issue number 4. Is that just like bait? Is that they trying to get us into this book to get more sales? Or is it truly going to be how Robert Downey Jr. is going to become Doom within the Marvel Universe? I don't know. I'm sure people are going to go bananas over this book. And this cover A by Dyke Ruan is amazing. And that Francisco Mobili variant is so good. But I'm a huge Dyke Ruan fan. I definitely pre-ordered this one and not the Mobili. All right, guys, that is everything that had something in the guts. Let's go ahead and come back and go over my spec picks of the week. All right, guys, starting at the top, let's go ahead and discuss if there's any cover lover picks that I really feel strongly about. And let's go ahead and kick that off with Detective Comics issue number 1088, the cover E 1:25 ratio variant done by Sebastian Fumera. I love this cover. I freaking love it. I think Mr. Freeze looks epic, and I think a lot of Batman fans are going to agree with me, and I have a feeling this one is going to do well on the secondary market. Now, if we continue, is the buzz around Dazzler still hot, or is it completely cooled off after the Deadpool movie? I'm not 100% sure, because guys, guess what? I have not seen the Deadpool movie just yet, and I'm avoiding all spoilers online because I'm not checking the internet for anything. So, you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below if this is dead spec or if it's continuing to sizzle. But these high ratio variants, the 1 in 100 done by Derek Chu, is actually pretty nice, but I also like that 1 in 25. So keep an eye on both of those books in my opinion. And if we continue, you gotta keep an eye on the Ultimates 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Francisco Mobili. That is epic. That is such an epic cover. And if the guts of this book is truly that important, people are gonna go nuts for this book. And this 1 ratio book that is for Ultimates issue number 4 is probably gonna be the most sought after. So keep an eye on that one. There's some other great Doom variants, but this is definitely the best. Now, the last cover is Grommets issue number 4, the cover B 1 in 10 ratio variant. mainly because all the 1 in 10s have done really well on the secondary markets. I shouldn't say really well. They're doing double ratio, sometimes a little bit more than double ratio, which is great for a small independent book like this. Now, if we continue, I'm gonna go ahead and say you guys can go ahead and skip all of the facsimiles because there's nothing really that great there. Keep an eye on NYX issue number 1, second print, Virgin 1 in 25 ratio variant, because those normally do well, and this is an art germ cover, which is fantastic. It features X23. She does look really nice, so I believe that one most likely will sell well on the secondary market. The rest, probably not so much. And if we're gonna go over the books that has something in the guts, I think the one that's most enticing, that most likely could do well in the secondary market, is the Ultimates issue number 4, because of that tease with Robbie Downey Jr.'s transition into Doom being in this issue, or the understanding of it. That's really important, and people love movie spec, and if this truly has it, then this book is gonna be fire, like fire. So definitely keep an eye on this book as well. All right, guys, those are all my spec picks of the weeks. I do not have any recommendations to read this week, but I do have some awesome cover lover picks for next week's New Comic Book Day that I think could do well on the secondary market. So let's go ahead and dive into those. All right, guys, we're gonna cover some covers that are coming out on next week's New Comic Book Day, which is August 7th of 2024. And I do think some of these covers could sell well on the secondary market. So guys, keep an eye out for all these covers when you're in your local comic book shop. But guys, don't forget, do your own research. All right, guys, first up is Fantastic Four, issue number 23, the variant cover done by Alexander Lozano. Fantastic thing cover. Now, I think this book most likely will sell well in the future, not right out of the gate. Unless this book is low ordered, especially if this variant cover is low ordered, then I can see this cover popping off right away, because this cover, I don't know, there's something about this cover that makes it special. Now, next up is a really cool looking independent. This is Fearless Dawn, The Bomb, issue number 2, with the cover B variant done by Steve Mannon. A small print variant done by Asylum Press, which is probably not going to have a huge printing. And this cover is a little sexy. It's different. I can see this cover in the future doing well, especially if at some point Steve Mannon's popularity blows up. I think people will come back to this and really want it. All right, guys, next up is Gotham City Sirens, issue number 2, the cover C variant done by Ji Hung Lee. Again, these Ji Hung Lee variants for Gotham City Sirens are just fantastic. They are so great, and this is the second one coming out on next week's New Comic Day. So we have the last issue on FOC, and this second issue on New Comic Day for next week. All right, guys, next up is Kill All Immortals, issue number 2, with the cover B variant done by Ivan Tao. This cover is freaking awesome. And I heard issue number 1 of Kill All Immortals was a fantastic read, so it's a great read, supposedly, because I'm gonna read mine soon-ish, but great covers as well. So great covers, great story, freaking awesome. Let's go. Next up is a gorgeous cover. This is Red Sonja, Empire of the Damned, issue number 5, the cover E, which is the Virgin variant done by Joshua Middleton. This cover is so good. Now, there is a trade dress and then like multiple versions of this, like a black and white and everything else. But this one, the cover E Virgin, in my opinion, is hands down the best. The best. Hands down, you know Ghost and I are going after this. And Ghost is an awesome member of the Discord. So guys, don't forget to join the Discord. Linked down in the description below. But this cover is fantastic. All right, guys. Next up is Spider Society, issue number 1, with the 1 in 100 Virgin ratio variant done by Art Germ. I don't love this, but it's a high ratio spider book featuring Spider-Gwen. And it is pretty good, and I think people will go after it because it is such a high ratio book. All right, guys, next up is Werewolf by Night, issue number 1, with the 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Jeff DeCall. It's a DeCall, Elsa Bloodstone, Werewolf by Night. Let's freaking go. I think this cover will sell well. Next up, X-Men, issue number 1, the second print 1 in 25 Virgin ratio variant done by JTC. This is just one of those second print 1 in 25 Virgins that I think is just gonna sell well. It's X-Men, it's magic, and I think it has all the elements needed for a book to sell well on the secondary market. And guess what? The next book is X-Men, issue number 2, the 1 in 100 Virgin ratio variant done by J. Scott Campbell. This cover is fire. Fire, so good, and it's a high ratio featuring magic, great artwork. It has everything. This book is definitely going to sell well. And that is it. Those are all the covers coming out on next week's New Comic Book Day that I think could or will sell well on the secondary market. And that is the end of today's video. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and guys, if I miss any book that you really think will sell well on the secondary market that's on this weekend's final order cutoff, please let me know down in the comments below. Tell me what book it is, tell me what the spec is, and I'll pin that comment to the top so that way everyone can see it. Because guys, I'm human, I miss books all the time, and that's a big reason why you also need to check coverprice.com in the comic book frontier before you finalize your orders, because I do miss things all the time. Alright guys, before I sign off on today's video, the reason why I did not have a third video for you guys this week is A, the summer is absolutely crazy busy for me and my wife. We're busy all the time. Me and Stephanie are just going. Stephanie has not been home until 9 o'clock every single day this week because something kid related has taken her from work to home, to immediately back out until 9 o'clock at night. And yeah, my life has just been busy, but it's extra busy this week because I got a new pickup truck on Wednesday. I'll make sure I put some pictures or videos up on screen right now so you guys can check it out. But there was a lot of driving and things that had to happen for me to get that truck, but it is a dream truck. Stephanie helped me get that, and it is just freaking incredible. Stephanie, you are the most amazing woman in the world. Thank you so much for helping me get my dream truck. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I'll be back next Monday or Tuesday with the Wednesday pull list. You guys have a great final order cutoff, a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.